Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning. This is Sam Dosa, live on the segment called Believe in Business. With me, my co-host Jennifer Blumen-White, and today's phenomenal guest, Jean-Pierre, and short we call him.
We're going to have to teach you some French.
I have to learn some
Jean-Pierre
French.
de Villiers.
Thank you, Jen. That's amazing.
Perfect.
It's okay.
Today, Jennifer, my co-host, she's a founder of the Live Authentic Academy. She is known as the Emotional Freedom Specialist. She loves to work with creative, inspired men and women who are passionate about doing what they love and making a difference in the world. She supports them to get clear on their business vision and to create a lifestyle that supports their business and celebrates their life purpose. She has created a unique program that combines emotional freedom technique and intuitive coaching to transform her clients' pain to positivity and their problems to possibility. She has been in business and management for over 3 decades and coaching in life and business for the last 13 years. She's also a speaker, author, blogger, EFT master practitioner, intuitive life and business coach, event producer, and now Be Live TV. So I would like to welcome my co-host, Jennifer.
Hi, Sam. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. And yes, we are really stoked up tonight to have a wonderful guest who I'll introduce in a second. But first, I have to introduce you, Sam. And you are my wonderful co-host. And you're a highly, highly successful business and personal coach who specializes in helping his clients to avoid burnout. Now, since 2002, Sam has been recognized as one of the UK's top trainers and coaches, and he started on his own journey of transformation and quickly realized that this was his dharma or purpose in life, to be able to help people avoid burnout and motivate them to fulfill their potential. Sam works with individuals and major companies. He's a motivational speaker, business coach, and now founder of Chai with Sam and co-host on this wonderful live chat show, Believe in Business TV, where we're promoting passion for business, both online sorry, it's a bit of a error there. Sorry, one day I'll get this right. and before further ado, we're going to introduce. Sam, did you want to say a little bit about why we're doing this, or shall I just go straight into our guest? Introduce our guest.
Straight going to the guest.
Fantastic. I can't wait, because Jean-Pierre de Villiers is just, we are so honored and chuffed and privileged to have as our guest, Jean-Pierre de Villiers. He's the CEO athlete coach with 2 decades of experience in peak performance and personal coaching. Jean-Pierre is renowned for running transformational events, seminars, and challenges globally, stretching people who could be like you to be their absolute best. He has worked with CEOs, celebrities, Olympic athletes, and thousands of influential men and women who demand the best from themselves and want to stay ahead of the game. As well as speaking internationally, Jean-Pierre regularly contributes to publications and often features on TV. He is the author of several books. Is a professional martial artist, has completed multiple ultra marathons and other endurance events, and was voted as Health Coach of the Year. Jean-Pierre was selected as one of the most inspiring people in London, supported by the Mayor's Office, and has the honour of speaking in front of the United Arab Emirates royal family. I will finish in a second, because it's just so. I've got to read them because it's just so amazing. Leave it. And he has a list of people that he's worked for, worked with Success Resource magazine is just incredible, and he is a #1 coach with Tony Robbins. So welcome,
I'm not a number
Jean-Pierre.
one. Just stop you there. I'm not a #1 coach for Tony.
Okay.
I represent Tony, and I'm a trainer I was a trainer for Success Resources. So let's get that clear. I promote Tony Robbins' events. I'm not I'm a speaker representing Tony, but I'm not a Tony Robbins trainer. So just people study for years to be a Tony Robbins trainer.
That's me getting excited, Jean-Pierre.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. I didn't want anyone knocking on your door and saying, "Hey, he's not a trainer."
Fantastic. So welcome. So having this beautiful accolade that you've got here, and you look incredibly young to have achieved all of that kind of stuff. So could you just tell us, were you always passionate about business? I mean, getting involved with business and coaching.
You know what? It's first of all, guys, thank you very much for having me. I wasn't sure whether I was going to get through all the intros, but I'm glad that we got there in the end. But I love doing podcasts and stuff, and I love sharing. And that actually brings me back to your first question: have I always been passionate about business? To be honest with you, I'm not passionate about business at all. At all. So you're going now. But what I've always been passionate about is helping others, always. And if you look at it like that, from that angle, when I do, I've just got back from an event in Dubai and Singapore, and I always will say, business is not about money. Business is the greatest measure of a successful, money is the greatest measure of a successful business, but it's not the outcome. People look at, imagine you're on a raft and you're trying to get from one piece of land to the other. That they think of money as the other piece of land, but no, the money is just the raft keeping you afloat. The more money you have, the better you're doing, and the faster you get to your next destination. And for me, business is about change. It's about innovation. It's about taking something that doesn't exist that's going to make a difference in the world, or taking something that already exists and making it better because you think you can serve the world in a better way. So in that respect, or in that way, I've always been passionate about business. I never thought of myself as being a businessman, a business coach, a business advisor, yet I am a businessman. I've coached businesses and businessmen and women and advised businesses, and I still do. I'm just about
so it's all consequential. It's all like you just go for your actual passion, and it's created a business to keep you and sustain you, and therefore the money is just a consequence of your value to the world.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm not going to be the only one to coin that or to say that term, turn your passion into profits. But really, that's what business is about. You can go try and run a business like everyone else, but in my opinion, most of the time you're going to fail unless you really do it your way. I know coaches that are doing coaching not like everyone else. They're doing it totally their way, and they're thriving. I don't know. I come from a kind of fitness motivated perspective, get out of your own way, live your dreams, all that stuff. I don't really know. Maybe I'm wrong, right? Maybe I've got blinders on, but I don't see anyone doing what I'm doing. Not anyone.
When I first came across you, I was really mesmerized by the fact that you actually do the actual physical, the training, the body excellence, as well as the mind and coaching excellence as well. It's like you blended the two, which makes a whole person.
And that's my thing. My latest book is How to Be Successful in Business and Life, or Life and Business, because I've seen business people successful but unfulfilled, unhappy, unhealthy, unwealthy in body and spirit. And for me, that's not a successful life. No. I would rather have an average amount of money and extraordinary health than extraordinary wealth and an average body or physical state, because I can lose money and make it again. But once you lose your health, it's game over. It is game over. And I do not want to be in business for 20 years. I want to be in business for my whole life. I want to
Yes.
be like the spiritual teachers and the Tony Robbins and the Wayne Dyers. I want to be doing this, the Brian Tracy, where he's going to be knocking on about 127 years old, Brian Tracy, and he's still in business. There's no
Yes.
expiration date. I think that when you're healthy and you know how to take care of your body and your mind, there's no expiration date to your life. And isn't that the greatest business model? Like, your
I
body
think
is your
so.
business. Your
Mhm.
body is your business.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So I believe that you have some information for us tonight. How to create high performance results. So you've got some tips and hints around that for our audience,
Okay, well,
so that they
first of
can
all,
become amazing business
it's not,
owners.
it's not available yet, but I'm just going to give you nuggets from my book. I've
Mhm.
written 3 books, and all of them really have been nuggets. Nuggets. Like, what I mean is little bite-sized chunks of inspiration, motivation, or inspiration. I don't believe in making things overcomplicated. Maybe it's because I'm a simple folk, but I like simplifying everything, and I don't try to make myself smarter than I am. I'm a massive fan of Albert Einstein, and Albert Einstein said, "Make everything as simple as possible, but not simpler." And how I understand that is give people what they need to know in the most simplest way, but give people what they need to know. Like, I don't have this tiered learning thing. I want to share everything that I know. And actually, that's why I told you I created an online university for $10 a month, where I can just plow everything I know into what I do, and to audience, and whoever wants to be a part of that tribe or that family. So basically, someone asked me recently, I think it was a radio interview, SX Radio or something like that, just recently. And they said, how do you describe what you do in one sentence? And I said, I help people get out of their own way by building high performance habits. And once again, this is not rocket science stuff. I'm not the first person to say it, but everything that we have or are in our life comes down to our habits. It comes down to our rituals. It comes down to what we do non-negotiably. Because as long as we want to make something, as long as we want to achieve more and make something permanent, we have to make it permanent in our life right now. So you want to build wealth, you got to have wealth practices. You want to build health, you got to have health practices. You want to become more spiritual, well, you best pray or meditate right now. Because how are you going to ever get there? So people focus on this destination, and they make it bigger than it is. They make it too far than it is. But actually, everything is a journey. Wealth, health, relationships, love, business. It's all in the moment way of living, as opposed to some destination. So what do you need to do today to have a successful business, to have a life that you're passionate about? It's build business and passion habits today. And that's what I love. I just did a Facebook Live, I think it was earlier today or last night. I did one last week, and I spoke about non-negotiables. I said, as long as something is optional in your life, it'll never become permanent. You can't accidentally, or whenever you feel like it, do something and expect it to become permanent in your life. I mean, that's absolutely absurd. Absolutely.
Yeah. So
I'm in shock.
That's like very a more logical form of the law of attraction when you think about it, because people talk about the law of attraction is like you think something, and you be it, and you feel into it, and then it should happen. But what they forget is that you have to take the action towards it, and as you're doing the action right now, you're building on baby steps going forward. So you be it and feel it and take the action as well. It's like Jeff Olson's book on The Slight Edge. It's like taking little baby steps to build up to the end result.
I love a quote from Martin Luther King from The Secret, the Law of Attraction, most famous Law of Attraction book, and he says you don't have to take the whole stair or see the whole staircase, you just have to take the first step. So for me, my online university and everything that I do is just about helping people take steps. And actually, I don't know if you watched the video, because you just quoted my video from earlier today, and I said that you just have to do something. Just do something. Just keep moving forward. And I said that even the law or the word attraction has the word action in it. Now, don't get me wrong. I am one of the biggest advocates and fans and followers and stalkers of the law of attraction. The law of attraction changed my life. A friend of mine said to me when I was 23, I was getting life wrong. He said to me, do 3 things, JP. I was like, I want help. He said, do what you love, follow Tony Robbins, watch The Secret. Changed my life. All of those things. I still do what I love to this day. I'm still, Tony's my mentor. I've ended up, like I said, promoting Tony. It's not a coincidence. It's the law of attraction. But that third thing, watching The Secret and following the law of attraction, that really significantly changed my life, because it made me realize that my external world had to equal my internal world, and that whatever I was creating on the inside, I was manifesting on the outside. And as fluffy as it sounds, I can't give you the science to it. Go check out someone like Joe Dispenza and all these things, and research neuroplasticity and how we can change our body and our brain and all these things. I think we've lost Sam, but I'll keep talking.
Keep talking.
But the law of attraction only worked. It only worked because I watched it, and then I went and did shit. Sorry about my language, but I watched it, and then I went and did stuff. And if for example, just one more thing. For example, I said at the beginning of this year, right, I'm making some changes, creating an online membership, and it's going to be so affordable that everyone in the world can afford to work with me. That's the goal. Give everyone in the world, or at least 90% of the world, the ability and the opportunity to be able to have a coach and have me as their coach. And I said, so one of my intentions was I want to do as many interviews and podcasts as possible, right? So then I've had, like, in the last month, I've had 4 or 5 people ask me for a podcast, to appear on their podcast. Obviously, you were one of them. Bing, I set the intention. Bing, it happened. So that's the law of attraction. The first step, okay, is is that this came to me. But I still had to reply to Sam. I still had to turn on my computer. I still had to come to my office. I could be at home right now. I'm at my office, so I got good Wi-Fi. So yes, I set the intention to be here, and so should everyone set intentions in business. But then you got to show up. Yeah. Because the only thing you need to achieve anything you want is to show up, whether here or here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. The going back to The Secret, did you get taking the action right from the get-go? Because so many people didn't get that. They just thought that they could just think it and feel it and everything, and they were saying that it doesn't work and it's a load of nonsense. But they forgot, it does actually say in there that you have to take the action, and people skip over that bit for some reason. Did you get that from the get-go?
Well, I get that, and I know a lot of people do, and a lot of people say there's fault in the law of attraction, and I get it. A lot of speakers and coaches now will say, oh yeah, the law of attraction is great, but if you do it my way, because you can't just sit, like, it's all marketing and people giving their opinion. But look, I'm telling you, it works. But if you expect stuff to just come to you, it might come sometimes, because everything in the world is energy. I didn't say that. Albert Einstein said that. Albert Einstein said that everything in the world is energy, and if you match the frequency of the reality that you want, then you cannot help but get it. This is not philosophy. This is physics. This is science. So there is a part of the law of attraction. Sorry,
Sam?
Absolutely believe. I'm saying absolutely believe that, JP, because the law of attraction is quite a simple thing if somebody understands that, because we are all energy being, and we connect with from one place to another place. And doing a healing with somebody while sitting in UK and somebody sitting in whether New York or Australia, it can be done if you are connecting on the same frequency. And the law of attraction, what you're talking about, I 100% believe in that, because my life has been on the journey, and what I have actually manifesting, what I have been started the journey with this entire TV channel of interviewing program last October is actually manifested to 4 shows now. So I'm just saying that what you are going to be attracting with a pure heart, you're going to get it.
Yeah, and honestly, I totally agree with you. And I don't want to sound too wishy-washy, because I want to give people strategies in this session, and actual physical things they can do. Literal things they can go away and do. But feeling what you want and believing that you can have it, that's a thing, because that requires, an action is putting energy into motion. Yes, an action is putting energy into motion, but really focusing on what it is that you want takes a lot of energy. You know, most people don't meditate because it takes energy. It's lazy not to meditate. I know, because I didn't meditate for most of my life. And then I was like, oh, it's not for me. It's not. I'll try it for 3 minutes. Oh, it's not for me. It's hard work to meditate. But once you get into it, you step into that energy and you start experiencing something new. And, you know, I've had things come to me through just putting a thought out. I put a thought out about 2.5 years ago. I said to my wife, I really want to work in Dubai. I mean, you've seen me on Facebook, right? I spend more time in Dubai than any other country. I just put the intention out there. In January this year, beg your pardon, it was December last year, I knew that Tony Robbins was going to be running an event for the first time ever in Singapore on the 3rd and 4th of February. And I said to my wife, oh, I really want to go to Singapore. And I said, I've never been to Singapore. I've been through Singapore in transit many times, but never been like, you know, in Singapore. And then I said, you know what, maybe I'll go to the UPW event. And then it didn't happen because I got a speaking gig in Dubai. And rather than being like, oh, you know, I wanted to go to UPW and, oh, you know, I really wanted to go to Singapore, I literally said to my wife like this. It was planned from beginning of December. And then 2 weeks before, I said to Jules, I'm not going to go. I'm not going to go. I got this other event 2 days before, and it's not the right time. Okay. And then literally maybe 5-6 days later, I got a call from a company that I don't know, from a guy that I don't know, saying, we'd like you to speak at our annual conference in Singapore. How the hell does that happen? So I went. I not only went to Singapore, I went there, paid for my time, paid for my travel, and stayed in a beautiful 5-star hotel. So, wow. But once again, if I didn't speak, I wouldn't have been seen by this gentleman, and then we ended up, you know, getting on really well. If I didn't go to Dubai, he wouldn't have seen me there. If I didn't reply to the email, so you got to put it out, and then you got to put it in. I've never said that before. You got to put it out, and then you got to put it in.
One of the things you've just mentioned there about saying, "Oh, well, I'm not going. I don't want to go," is part of the law of attraction is letting go, just letting go and let God. It's like letting go and not worrying about it anymore. You know, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But at least the energy's already gone out there, and that's probably why you got your wish.
When sorry, Jennifer, I still am, but when he was alive, I was a massive fan of Dr. Wayne Dyer, and he used to say that, well, I'm not religious, but I believe in God and being, you know, there is the Almighty, the universe, and he used to say, let go and let God. You know, stop pushing. And my best way to just share this very quickly with your audience, you know, if someone asks, what does that mean, let go and let God? Well, I think of it like this. We're kind of everyone's born into a room in a house, and they're fully aware that this house is available to them and that there's all these beauties and magical things in the house and pool, jacuzzi, whatever, but we're stuck in this room. And what most of our life growing up, we end up pushing this door to try and get out of this room because we so badly want to get in the house and experience more. And we keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. More resistance, more resistance, more resistance. And then eventually something happens and we change our approach and we just say, you know what, I'm just going to take a rest. And then when you step back from the door for the first time in your life and just chill the hell out, you realize the door just opens this way. And all you have to do is just walk out. That's what life's meant to be about. And the reason why I hope you can tell my passion in sharing this example is because most of my life I got it wrong. And I pushed and I pushed and I pushed. And it still shows up. But luckily for me, proximity is power. And I surround myself around the most magical, amazing people, coaches, business advisors, friends, family, that always, you know, that remind me, you know, life's not about pushing. Life's about appreciating where you are.
Fantastic. So have you got, but just for our viewers who are watching, UPW, you've mentioned that several times. So if you could just say what UPW is so that they understand.
Yeah, cool. So Tony Robbins, when I was 23 years old, I was getting life wrong. I grew up in sport, even though I had a very challenging upbringing. And then I kind of lost my way and I became a hedonist party animal, DJ, ended up 23, in the bottom of the pit. Went back to my friend. I was DJing in Europe. Went back to my friend and said, I need help. He said, I want you to do these 3 things. Watch this movie, The Secret, listen to what they say, even though he said the movie's very cheesy, which it is. He said, listen to the words. He said, follow Tony Robbins because you need a role model and a mentor. And he said, do what you love. And I had this tattoo across my chest, do what you love and love what you do. Because I do it every day of my life. It was life-changing for me. And so I started following Tony Robbins. And after about 6 years, I'd watched every video, every tape, everything that I could of Tony. I started to embody Tony and, you know, to really just practice everything that he was saying, especially because one of the first things I ever learned from Tony Robbins was find out who has what you want, including the life, the success, whatever, and make it your own. So this is like the greatest success coach in the world saying, copy what other people are doing. So I just copied him. And then I realized that he had an event in London called Unleash the Power Within. This is his signature event, his most famous event. Unleash the Power Within, UPW. And I went to my first ever UPW paying like, I think I got my ticket off a guy named Steve Woody, and he got it from his friend.
Okay, and I know Steve.
Steve organized for me to like pay it off in installments, and I got there. And 6 UPWs later, I was a trainer for Success Resources, the top events promotion company in the world, and promoting Tony's work because I was an advocate. You know, I was an advocate. I was a student. I was a disciple of Tony, and I've been all over Europe, South Africa, UK, Ireland, UAE, promoting Tony Robbins. So that's what it is. If you haven't been to UPW, go. Do your life a massive favor. Actually, I messaged Veronica Tan, the owner of Success Resources, yesterday, and I said, I'm so gutted because I'm not actually, for the first time in 6 years, I can't actually go to Tony because I just want to be in that. Like your environment dictates your performance, your energy, your mood, your attitude, and that environment for 4 days is insane. It's insane.
Fantastic. So, as you're going through, what was the worst moment that you can recall, and how did you actually turn it around? What was your boo moment when you thought that was your lowest? Because you just touched on that. You were like, you know, really in a low place.
So I've had many low moments in love, in being close to bankruptcy, being close to the bottom of the pit in terms of my psychology, you know, when I was 23 years old and thinking, is this my life? I'm a DJ, I'm high on cocaine. I've just done some horrible things over the last 24 hours and I'm alone in my hotel. I was just like, this sucks. But I also had my first ever really bad moment was my father passing away when I was 13. I came home from a cycling race. And the police were at my door, and my father had basically gassed himself on the beach in his car, and that was hard. And the reason why I'd like to, you know, I can focus on all my different challenges and problems and share all of them with you, but I'd really like to focus on this single one because I really hope that your audience can relate to this a lot, even if not, you know, now, but at some point, you know, if something happens in their life, for them to be able to keep faith and have hope that everything will be okay. I hope that they remember this. I didn't turn it around immediately. And I didn't know I was going to be able to, because it sucked. Because growing up, we had a lack of money. My mother sat us down when I was 10 years old to say that we're going to have to go to foster care. I went to 8 different schools. I got bullied through my whole school career. I was telling to my wife yesterday, we're watching this incredible show on Netflix called 13 Reasons Why. Every teenager should watch this program about suicide and, you know, understanding that people are going through stuff. And I wrote some sick notes and I didn't show up to school for 3 days sometimes just to avoid bullying. I hope my mother doesn't watch this. And, it was tough for me growing up. So when my father died then, when I was 13 years old, and it was a week after our birthday, right? So my father and my birthday are the same, 27th of July. And I haven't even seen him on my birthday. My parents were divorced when I was 6. And a week later, I come home and I can't wait to tell my dad eventually on the phone. And yeah, he killed himself. And that was tough for me because you can imagine as a kid, I think I read one of you or both of you experienced in NLP and neuro-linguistic programming. And, everything as a kid shapes our future. So at 36 years old today, I'm still working on all of the demons from my past. I'm 1,000 million times better than I was, but I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. And that's why, I work very hard on myself and train hard and read loads of books and, have coaches, all these things. But so I didn't know it was going to get better because at that point, I already felt, up until that stage, I felt like I wasn't good enough. Because everyone was better than me in every way. I had all the things in life better than me: more support, more money, more popularity, more girls. I actually don't even think I was thinking of girls at 13 years old.
Girls are bad at 13 years old.
Yeah. I was brought up with good manners, I'll tell you that. My mother, I've been taught my whole life I have very good manners, other than the fact that I swear. And that's because of my mother. But so I didn't know it was going to get better. But I never gave up, and that's it. So you asked me two questions, really. You asked me, one, what was the most painful moment of my life? It was in my father passing away and realizing that even though I had all these things missing in my life, I still had a dad, really, even though he wasn't around. And when he chose to leave me, that made me feel like I was worth nothing. Because how can you be worth something if your own father won't even he doesn't even think, he didn't even say goodbye to me. I can't even remember to this day how maybe I saw him 2 months before that. I can't remember. My time is very warped. So I had the shame existence bind. I didn't believe that I deserved to exist. And I fought that right into my 20s. But the thing that turned it around was I never gave up. Number one, and then the moment that turned that most painful moment in my life around was exactly, and I don't believe this is a coincidence, exactly 10 years later, at 23 years old, when I shared with you the lowest point in my DJ career, I went and spoke to my friend. And the reason why I decided to change in that moment was because I was experiencing so much pain and dissatisfaction with my life, being a consumer and not being a contributor in any way, that I remembered my father's death. And that pain, change comes out of, incredible pain or incredible pleasure or both. And that pain of realizing that I'm 23 and my father got life wrong as well. And I was only 23 and I was getting it very wrong. That made me switch like that. Yeah. And then it was getting around different people. I got a role model. I immersed myself in good environments and I did the work. I always use the example of, if you want to win a gold medal in anything, but if you want to win a gold medal in swimming, you've got to swim laps. Doesn't matter how talented you are, you got to swim laps. How often do you have to swim laps? Every day. So those three things, as long as it takes, or change your approach until it works. So I latched on to Tony, and now I have many role models. But in the beginning, it was Tony Robbins. You are my inspirational father figure from today. Congratulations. And I treated him like he was my dad. And I listened to everything that he said like he was a father to me. And then I got around different people. I changed my environment and I did the work every day. Started with The Secret. I wrote down 54 quotes from The Secret and I read them out for 54 days. Whether you think you can or you can't, either way, you're right. My thoughts becoming a reality. Buddha, W. Clement Stone, Martin Luther King Jr. I embedded in my brain and then just everything changed for me. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, fantastic. So what is it that you are bringing to the table now with all this learning and everything that you're gathering? And have you got a UW kind of signature program?
I've done so many different things in business, and I'm very much trying to just figure life out. I don't believe to know it all. I don't believe that I know it all. I don't claim to know it all. So, over my personal development journey, I went from personal trainer to coach to speaker. I did body transformation programs. I've written books and all these things. I'm just always trying things out. Now, for the last 4 years, I ran personal development events. So I was very much known in the personal development industry. You'd see me at seminars, multi-speaker stages, webinars, 2-day workshops, free workshops, 1-week events, all of those things. And then last year, just realized that it wasn't what I wanted to do. And actually, it came out of deep frustration. Actually, it was May 2017. It was May, June. It was like the acid attacks in Syria, war somewhere else. I can't remember. There was a Manchester bombing, terror attack in London, and I was like, "Can I swear on here or no?"
Well, it's Facebook, so
Okay, so I was like, "What the fuck am I doing?" I was like, "What the fuck am I doing?" I'm just running events, and to someone else that might be okay, and that's amazing. Go do it. But for me, because I told you I always wanted to help people, I was like, I'm helping this many people, and with there's social media, I could be helping thousands. Hundreds of thousands, millions of people more. And I just stopped everything I did. And then I said, okay, what's the destination that I want? Remember the raft thing? What's the destination? It's not money.
Yep.
Money's keeping you afloat. The destination for me was love and unity. I want the world to be consumed by love, which is what we really are. And the only way back to love is to unify the world, to unify ourselves, our body and our mind, and to unify each other. So I wanted to coach people and educate people, but on a much bigger scale. And I didn't know how. So in the rest of 2017, I just got a lot of things wrong. And I tried, doing some ultra marathons and raising money. And I thought that would be enough to carry me through and build a foundation and, save baby seals and build schools. And it didn't happen. And then at the same time, people were missing my coaching. So I just said, what's the destination I want? Coach as many people as possible. What is my strength right now and my passion? It's coaching and fitness. So I said, okay. And I'm a big fan of Netflix. I watch a lot of Netflix, and I just thought, hey,
that's what these bags have come from, watching back-to-back Netflix.
I was like, how cool would it be if I can just create a Netflix of my coaching videos? So basically, a library of all my coaching videos, and then create a private Facebook group where, for like $10 a month, anyone can have me coach them, and we can all do group coaching sessions, and that's what I do now. So I still do one-to-one coaching, but I actually have an exclusive contract coming up, potentially a 36-month contract with a client. So I'm not coaching from a public perspective, and I have an online university where you can have me as your coach, come into my tribe, come into my community, and do group coaching sessions like this, where it's me and my students.
Fantastic. Have we got any questions, Sam, at all from our viewers? Because I haven't got that on my dashboard.
Well, we got so many viewers on our group at the moment, and thank you very much, everybody, joining us and putting your comments in. Ali Hassan, we are an electronic magnetic beings. Jumping into your heart space is key, which is correct. Once you start meditating, you are hooked up because it works. Absolutely right, Iva. And Cordelia, building business relationships today. So a lot of comments are coming in, and a lot of people are sharing their thoughts with us.
That's cool. I can't see the comments, so thank you for sharing.
I can't see them either, so that's what I'm asking you. I don't know if we can get to see them.
I'm broadcasting, so I'm seeing the comments. I think hopefully you're going to see the comments very soon. People are putting comments and saying hi to JP because we have a phenomenal guest today who has been in the industry for a long time, and the passion what he has is to serve unconditionally. And I think me and Jen are also on the same segment of people unconditionally. And this is a broadcast. We have a phenomenal.
Carry on. You still there, Sam?
Believe me.
Yes.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Yeah.
I just found how to view your comments, so I'm actually looking at them as well.
Perfect. That's beautiful. So I think the next question, what I would like to ask you, JP, is you are an inspiration to a lot of people. I've met you in Birmingham, and since then I'm watching your journey and been talking to you to bring you on this segment for a long time. And this is all happens for a reason, that while I'm in Nairobi and you are in the UK, both of you, and I'm telecasting this from Nairobi today. And I'm very humbled that you accepted our invitation to be part of this venture which me and Jen are doing, Believe in Business, promoting passion in business. And viewer are been watching and commenting, and we are very humbled with all of those who have been joining us and watching and listening to JP's journey and his inspiration to us. The question which I have for you is your book.
The same thing.
Same thing. Sorry.
Sorry, I like a good laugh.
He's all right.
Trying to get the comments. Sorry, Sam.
Think about your book, which you would you be actually giving away to all the viewers or people who are going to be commenting as a PDF. Would you tell us about your latest book, please?
Yeah, so basically, as a coach and high performance strategist, I realized that the more successful I became, the more successful people I worked with. I'm quoting it like this because obviously I want to talk about what success means. But I realized that just because people were lawyers, actors, CEOs, heads of financial firms, it didn't mean that they were, in my opinion, successful. They were successful only in business. So they were successful only in the area of work or their profession. But if they step outside of their work, if you saw them in the street or in a park, there's no way you'd say they're successful. So for me, there's other things that determine success, like certainty, self-confidence, the ability to serve, the ability to, be a good communicator, and not have to, I know people in business that can communicate very well when they have a title behind them, but you take them out of a business context and their confidence goes, to zero. So this book is basically about how can you be successful in business and life. And it's got to, I speak about what is the cause? What is the cause of what you do? What's the company that you keep? How concentrated are you? How conscious are you? I very cleverly named started all the chapters with a C. But yeah, I think of it as the C's in success. How compassionate are you? How curious are you? And basically just took things from my talks over 2017 and said, okay, well, what can I relate here to winning in business and life? And how can I get it to start with a C? And everything that I could find, I put into this book. And it's written in a way like this. I don't have my last book. This book, The Extraordinary CEO, by the way, CEO stands for certain, energized, and obsessed, how everyone should live or aim to live their life. The Extraordinary CEO, How to Win at Business and Life. Jay Abraham, #1 sales and marketing strategist, said JP's a brilliant man. Nice little word from him. Mary Buffett says JP's my personal Tony Robbins. Met Mary in Dubai. And it's just a nugget book, really. My last book before this, what's it called? How to Go from Ordinary to Extraordinary, The Principles of Peak Performance. It's also written in the same way. My book before that, 77 Ways, it's written in a way that you can go, bang, open up a page, read, okay, cash is important. Okay, why is community important? Close it, put it away, and then come back to it another day. Because I believe that everything in the world is energy, you're always going to get what's right for you in that moment. I believe that so much. And Sam, to come back to what you said, it's a pleasure to be here. And let me just say that I don't say yes to every podcast. And I just think always, what does my heart say? What does my intuition say? And you got in touch with me via Facebook, and I did a heart check, and I said, yeah, do it. And actually, there's a gentleman that, with all due respect to this gentleman, messaged me last week, wanted to do it with me, and I didn't like his message that he sent me, and it just made me feel funny. So I just said, I'm sorry, I can't make it anymore. It just didn't make me feel good. And I just, like Wayne Dyer always used to say, I want to feel good. So if something doesn't make me feel good, I just remove it or remove myself from it. And just, it felt right.
Oh.
So
we are honored. We are honored. Thank you so much, because we're both Sam and I are very heart-based. Yeah.
So I would just thank you so much. So for your listeners, You know, you don't think about, you know, I read a book almost a day, but I don't read the whole book. I feel what page comes to me, and then I read that page. Also, this is what I do, and you can try this for the listeners at home. For the listeners at home, try this. Have a YouTube subscription, and I watch YouTube videos almost every single day. But when you open up YouTube, it always gives you the home screen. Right? And it gives you suggested videos.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
I have this belief that the universe sends me the right videos. And I know that sounds fucking crazy.
That happens to me too. Exactly that. Every single time. Yeah.
I never so when I go, okay, I want to watch a motivational, inspirational, educational video today, I don't go looking for it. I just open my YouTube app and I always click out of the first 3 videos that I can see. I feel which one is calling me, so to speak, and then I listen. And 9.9 times out of 10, I go like this to my wife: "Oh my God, Jules, this is exactly what I needed to hear today." It's the universe in action, baby.
The amount of CEOs and top business people who have expressed that they get all the facts together and then they use their gut instinct to make their final decision. It's like, you know, that's what they base their decision making on. They need to have the facts, obviously, but then it's like, I'm going to choose from my heart.
Warren Buffett said that, you know, one of the greatest businessmen or investors in the world. He said, know all of your facts and then make decisions based on your heart or your intuition.
Yeah.
He said something along those lines anyway.
Are there any more questions, Sam? Because obviously we can't see.
No.
Or have you got your pet questions? Yeah. Okay, so I've got... No. Sorry, go on.
No, you go ahead.
Right, how much time have we got left? So, right, on our pet question list, we've got what... you've already talked about mindset, so I can't ask you that with that one. But what's the one piece of advice you want to leave for our audience regarding how to create high performance results? Because you haven't actually expanded on that. I mean, I think you've gone through some of your tips. Yeah.
No. We haven't even
gone. One thing you could want to talk about.
We haven't really gone into any high performance strategies or habits. We've just been talking. So obviously people can take nuggets from this. And, you know, I said never give up before. I said what we do every day we become. I said a version of that anyway. So, you know, here's 2 things I'd like to leave you with. Number one is obviously, you know, in terms of high performance strategies, I don't want to let your audience down. I happily send you the PDF for this and you can share it with them. But also if people want to get in touch with me, they can do it through my website. If they want to see my online membership, it's through my website. You go to the menu, there's a big red button that says membership. So they can get all the strategies there. They can take action there. But in terms of what I want to leave with them, it's 2 things. Number one is get out of your own way. I've seen again and again and again, and I'm testimony to that in my own life experience, that the only thing that is stopping us is us. And I know it sounds silly, but it's so incredibly true. And as I said in one of my videos today, the truth will set us free. So you've got to be, but the key is you can't just say, okay, I'm going to get out of my own way. You've got to really be willing. You've got to be really willing to take full responsibility for where you're at, and then take action, because you've got to do something different. You know, if you don't like where you are, move. You're not a tree. I think it was Brian Tracy that said that. But if you just sit there and talk and talk and talk and don't actually do anything, nothing will ever change. Nothing changes until you change. Nothing moves until you move. So it's get out of your own way. And am I saying that you should be able to do that on your own? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And that's why I created this membership. And that's why I encourage people to go to Success Resources events, to, you know, go visit speakers, go to talks, listen to podcasts, because you need to put yourself in an environment of change. I just uploaded a video the other day where I said that, you know, if I was in a room of people earning 6 figures, as soon as I hit 1 million, I'd feel like, you know, the bee's knees, I'd feel like top dog. But if all of a sudden I went into another room and I was the lowest, you know, earning person in the room, my whole mentality would change. All the things firing in my brain would change, because our environment dictates our performance, our attitude, our energy, our mood. So it's get around different people. So one, get out of your own way. And two, never, ever, ever give up. And what I mean by that is not just don't just stop doing stuff, but it's, if you don't find a way, change it. If you are stuck in the vehicle of your life, which is your job or your career or your business or your passion, and it doesn't work out for you, change it. Most of the time your first business will fail. Your first idea won't succeed, because what people see is they see other entrepreneurs and business people, Joe Wicks, the body coach. You don't know that Joe Wicks didn't try to do other businesses. You don't know that, all these other people that you see that are celebrated in public for what they have been practicing in private, you don't know what they've been going through. So it's, keep at it, never give up on your dreams, stay true to your heart and what makes you you. Because like I put on Instagram this morning, and you can obviously find me there as well, I said, you were born to stand out. You were born to stand out. So I you just got, if you become you, the more you become you, the more your people will be attracted to you. But if you're just, I hear a few people talking about vanilla, then what you do is you don't really end up attracting everyone, because you're just like everyone else.
Yeah, absolutely. And the journey that you with your failures, all your failures are not really failures. They're practices. They're just you practicing to get better and better and better. And you take the gems from those failures, apparent failures. They're not actually. They're just lessons. I think. It's like you're honing yourself, honing, and then growing until you start getting into the right place. And being successful. Yeah.
Here's a great exercise for anyone that's been through failure, and I've been through so much. Thank you, God. I've been through so many failures, because that's the whole reason why we're having this podcast. If I hadn't failed, I wouldn't be here. That's for sure, 100% fact. But remember this: that every time you fail, there's a lesson. So take out a new piece of paper. If you've never done this before, take out a blank piece of paper. Write down every single failure that you've had, on one side, and then draw a line down the middle, and then write down what was the biggest lesson that you got from that, and then write down, if you can, I understand that you can't always do it, but write down what is the value amount next to that. So okay, my biggest failure, I got divorced. What's the lesson I learned? Never settle. Right? For example, never settle. Because I settled in my last marriage and therefore I wasn't happy. So my failure is I got divorced. My lesson is never settle. What's the value amount? You can't put a value on that. It's extraordinary. What's the next failure? I lost a leg in a car accident. Okay, what's the lesson here? There's still a lot to do in life. I don't have to focus on the one thing that's missing or the one limb that's missing. I can focus on the three that I still have. How much is that worth? How much is gratitude worth? Can you put an amount next to that? When people do this and write down every single failure, then write a lesson next to it and only focus on the lessons, your whole life will change.
Fantastic. Got loads of gems here. Loads of gems.
Feeling bad from your failures comes down to expectation. You expected your life to be in a different way. You expected it to go smoother than it did, your life to be better than it was, for you to be further than you are. And that's why it's not the failure that's let you down. It's your expectation of how your life should have been. And when you can let go of that expectation and trade it in for appreciation, your whole life will change, because whatever you appreciates. Whatever you focus on expands and gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Fantastic. We have lost Sam, so we'll just keep going. So it's all about really recognizing that you are unique in the first place, and you have complete value, and you're not born to fit in. You're born to stand out. Absolutely. And what I've got here, I've written down some notes here. So build your passion and create good habits. Feeling and believing and meditation, really feel into yourself and do some really quiet time. It does take work, but it is worth it in the long run. Never ever give up, which is your number 2.
If meditation was easy, everyone would be a monk.
Yeah. But we can try. The ones who really want to succeed must try. I'm doing my meditation every day now. So yeah. Getting around better people, which is a really key thing, being around people that's going to inspire you and you feed off them. Getting yourself a coach, an accountability buddy, a mentor, somebody that's been there before, or especially with coaching, you don't necessarily have to be in there before, but we as coaches have very powerful questions. So we can ask you those questions and get you to really find those answers within you so you can take your next step. Where you want to go, what do you want to do, what are your desires, how are you going to get there, and start putting accountability in place. What you do every day.
Sorry, Jennifer, I'll just say on that note, because it really is, in my opinion, it's probably one of the biggest things that I realize in my life, that the people in my life are number one. And that's why when someone's in my life and they don't make me feel good, I get rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
I just do, because I need to, I've been through so much and I've had to work on so much darkness that I can't have darkness around me. I can't afford it. It's not a judgment, but I can't afford it. And I am where I am because the people I am with. I am where I am because of the people I am with or have been with. I have the best coaches, and I have had advisors, Daniel Priestley, Andrew Priestley, Michelle Zelli, Vinna Patel, Fiona Timothy, Veronica Tan, Alpha Mustafa, helping me, grow in the event side in the UAE. I have amazing people. And if I had to take even the 7 people that I've just mentioned, remove them, I don't know where the fuck I'd be.
Knowing the way
somewhere.
that you are, the star that you are, the shining, the person that you are, who've gotten out of your own way, you would have found another 7 people. I believe that you would not have been like just desolate. You would have, because you had the intention in the first place. You just know, if it's not them, it's going to be someone else. So I believe you would have been here anyway. You'd have been
right people. The right people always come to you at the right time.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay, so what we're going to do, we'll put the links, the links that you've given us in the comments after this, once we've finished, and people can hook up to your PDF, How to Win at Business and Life, which looks really interesting. They can actually go to your website, which is
Jean-Pierre If you can, it's just my name.com.
Yeah, and then membership.
If you go to the menu button, you'll see a red button that says membership. And what's so funny is literally 10 minutes before this call, my website developer, or the person handling my membership, said your videos have gone missing. So there was a welcome video there, but just read the page.
Yeah, actually, I saw that. It's empty.
Because we've just only launched the membership right now. There's like 30 odd people in there. Up until the first 100 people, we're doing a really crazy deal, which is $10. It's $10 a month. Or there's an option there to press the button and sign up for $70 for the year. That's $70 US for the whole year of 2018 or till this time next year, to have live group coaching sessions with me, immediate access to a closed coaching community on Facebook, and immediate access with a login and password to a video library of mine, including something that I used to sell called the Create Your Extraordinary Life program, which is 12 modules. I used to sell it for £500. All the videos from that program are in there for free. Also, what I'll do for your audience, I haven't done this, so let's see if it works. For your audience watching this, obviously only people watching this right till the end will see this offer. So please don't post this offer anywhere. It's $70 for the year. And if people sign up for the year and they send me the receipt, what I'll do is I will post them a physical copy of my book signed by me.
Oh wow! Cool. Fantastic. So we'll put that. We won't put that in the comments. We'll they'll have to watch the video to get to this section so that we can
it's a reward to the action takers that watched it till the end.
Yeah.
So the rest they can sign up for a year.
Is that via email? They'll copy and scan it.
They can just send it on the website. You just put in a contact, and you can just say, just watch the Believe in Business interview. And as soon as I see their name, I'll be able to cross-reference it with a receipt. And then I'll just ask for or one of my team will ask for their address, and we'll post it out to them in the next couple of days.
Fantastic. That's really generous. Thank you so much. Thanks very much.
The likelihood is, and this is what I spoke about before, is most people won't take action on that. So that's why I said it's only for the people that watch the whole video.
We're going to take action. Yeah, the action takers.
So the reality will be I'll only send up 4 or 5 books. So please don't put that offer of the.
Oh, are we back? Oh, we've lost.
We're live. We're live.
Hello. Hello.
I don't know if Sam knows we're live. Yo, Sam. All right, Jennifer, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think I don't know what Sam's doing, so I'm just going to go. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much for your time as well. We'll put all the links and everything in the comments that we need to.
Awesome.
And really, we are absolutely honored so much.
Likewise.
You're just
Thank you.
a superstar. Thank you so much. It's been a
Take care.
really, yeah, love it.
Bye-bye.
Okay, thanks.
Sorry guys, we have a issue today with our internet connection. I've been sitting in Nairobi, and we have lost the transmission with our guest and also my co-host. Just trying to resume back the interview as soon as possible. They join us, so bear with us, and sorry for the inconvenience has caused for you guys. I really appreciate for all your support while waiting for us to resume back as soon as possible. I've requested my host JP as well as Jennifer, my co-host, to resume back. So as soon as they will start, we will start the program again.
1, 2, 3. Hey, I'm back. Can you hear me, Sam? Hi, Sam, can you hear me? I don't think Sam can hear me. Well, if anybody actually can hear me, yeah, if anyone can actually hear me, this has been the Believe in Business show, and we're promoting. I think I
have to cancel the broadcast now or end the broadcast now because of transmission issue, and we will reschedule or check with JP's availability next to resume and broadcast the segment again. Sorry for the inconvenience has been caused to all of those who has been eagerly listening to this segment today, which is Believe in Business. Also helping us grow this segment is my co-host Jennifer. Because of her very in-depth knowledge, we have started this journey of bringing phenomenal guests like JP on our segment. So thank you for everybody for watching us, and I will say bye for now. Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Bye.